On this edition of Gameball College Kickoff, we're just going to jump straight into the Week 8 matchups. So let's get started right here, only on Gameball College Kickoff podcast. Starts now. What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Game Ball College Kickoff Podcast, where the football season never ends. I'm your host, Michael Riley.
And I'm Marcus Young, Genius Jenkins.
We do apologize for not doing a recap and a matchup for Week 6 and Week 7. So we're just going to jump to Week 8 recap. And next time when we do a recap, we'll do a full recap next week. So we're just going to jump right to it. So let's get started with the Week 8 predictions and matchups going on. What you got?
All right, I think these are some pretty outstanding matchups that Mike has brought our way. The first one takes us to Big 12 country, and that is going to be the Kansas State Wildcats are going to be hosting the Oklahoma Sooners. Kansas State currently ranked 7th in the Big 12, and they're coming off a blowout loss to TCU by a score of 26-6 in that contest. However, the Sooners are actually coming off a win against Texas by a score of 29-24, and they're actually ranked second currently in the Big 12. What do you like about this matchup, Mike?
Well, I like about this matchup, this is where K State got something to prove because they're coming off a loss at home to where they didn't play well to their potential. They gave up a lot of big plays on defense, and they just got outmatched and outbeat by TCU. And the offense, they just kept passing too much. They're normally a heavy run offense, some pass, but there wasn't balance enough to at least give TCU some competition or make it a close game. So what K State has to do is get back to the run game. Get back to who where you are, be that physical run team, then set it up with some play action pass to get the passing game going, be consistent, get some short routes going for the quarterback, get his confidence going, then you'd be able to take chances down the field with the passing game because the offense was able to produce 6 points of field goals. So that's not going to win it
Right.
against very good teams. So if you're able to generate points early by scoring touchdowns, then take time off the clock, force the other offense to set on the field, then you have a shot winning this game. So K State needs to get back to that formula that makes them successful for so many years, and they have to play better on defense because Oklahoma is a very talented offense that can score from all angles, whether running the ball, passing the ball, sometimes trick plays here and there, sometimes Baker Mayfield can run for touchdowns as well. So K State has to play stout on defense. They have to look over film, see what they did wrong, make better adjustments, and play better against Oklahoma, or else we're going to have a repeat or more. Now, for Oklahoma, it was back and forth going against Texas since it was a big rivalry game. But at the end, Oklahoma was able to make enough plays against Texas to win that game. So Oklahoma has to get off a fast start on offense. They have to be in attack mode. They have to score points. And also, in the passing game, take what the defense gives you. Don't try to do too much and take shots downfield all in one play. Just take what the defense gives you because K State is that type of defense that bends but don't break. They'll
Mm-hmm.
give you plays underneath, but they won't give you plays 50 yards or beyond. So you have to take what the defense gives you, and the defense needs to get off to a fast start and play better because they got punked and bullied by Texas offense, giving them all them yards, which they could have cost them at the end. but Oklahoma was able to know to play good defense and make some plays to win that game. So the critical part for Oklahoma to be successful is their defense to complement their offense early. If Oklahoma can do that, then they'll be able to dominate this game on the road.
So definitely an opportunity for K-State to rebound. They're at home once again against Oklahoma. We'll see if they actually have an opportunity to regain momentum. Still got plenty of football left to play, no matter how you slice it. We'll see what happens with that one. That's going to take us to our second matchup, Mike, and this takes us to the SEC in a big matchup. Number one, Alabama taking on Tennessee. The Crimson Tide will be at home in this contest. Alabama's coming off of a big win, a blowout win, mind you, against the Arkansas Razorbacks by a score of 41-9, holding Arkansas scoreless in that first half, and then only 9 points in that second half. Damian Harris in that game, 9 carries for 125 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, including a 75-yard touchdown to start the game in that contest. Tennessee, of course, Alabama ranked first in the SEC. That's no surprise. Obviously, number one in the country as well. For the Tennessee Volunteers, they're currently ranked fifth in the SEC East. They're actually coming off a loss to South Carolina by a score of 15-9. They're 0-3 also in the SEC. What makes this matchup intriguing?
Well, I don't say intriguing. I would say, would Tennessee be able to make this close? Because Tennessee has got everything riding in this game, especially for the coaching staff because they are on the hot seat, especially the head coach who's been there for a very long time now. All the stuff that they went through is his team now, so there's no more excuses. Either you put up or you can and gone. So Tennessee has to play really good football to get an upset win against a caliber team like Alabama. They have to be very stout on defense. You have to play a perfect game on defense, 60 minutes of football. And on offense, you have to play almost near a perfect game to be successful to take advantage of Alabama's mistakes on defense, which they rarely do because they cause you to make mistakes.
Yes.
And special teams has to be a key factor. If special teams play well, if the offense can play well to go along with the defense, then they have a shot at winning in Alabama. But Alabama, just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Be dominant on defense, turnovers, take it back for touchdowns. Offensively, just keep on improving. Get the passing game going, improve that category. The running games continue to take over this game, and special teams just continue to dominate. And Alabama, I'm not really worried about Alabama, but Tennessee has got everything riding for them on the line. Because if they lose this game, if it's a close or a blowout game, the coach is out of the door by Sunday morning. Or even before he gets back, he might not catch a plane home, to be honest with you. So, the coaching staff of Tennessee has to be able to focus and set up their players great to get an upset win at Alabama. If they get the win on the road, then there's a possibility he still keeps his job. If they don't, he's gone.
Well, definitely a big test for them. They're on the road at Alabama. And one thing I want to point out to you guys is Tennessee was 3-0 until they started the SEC. All three of their losses in conference. So this could be, like you said, something that, hey, some answers or some questions may need to get answered after this weekend. So we'll definitely find out. Alabama, this could either be one of those ones to where this could be a piece of cake for them, or you have a Tennessee that has nothing to lose basically at this point, it would seem, and they could end up shocking the world.
But Alabama is too disciplined to lose this game at home. They're too disciplined, especially when you got a head coach like Nick Saban who keeps his players focused, laser focused, no distractions, and do your job and play your part.
All right, Tennessee and Alabama coming at you this Saturday. The third matchup we're going to get into, that is the USC Trojans and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
The rivalry.
Oh, yes. And Notre Dame, want to point out to you, they are at home hosting the Trojans. USC is coming off of a win against the Utah Utes by a point. It was a close game, obviously. Scored 28-27. USC is still first in the Pac-12 South. They are 4-1 in the Pac-12 altogether. Notre Dame first in the Independence Conference, and they're coming off a win against the Tar Heels of North Carolina by a score of 33-10. How do you like this matchup?
It's a big rivalry game. This is for bragging rights for the whole year. This is like teams that hate each other. It's a lot of bad blood. It's been years and years and years of hate. But it's all in good sport and good fun.
Right. Yes.
So USC is coming off barely a win, but they still are struggling and they're dealing with a lot of injuries as well. Especially on the defensive side, they can't stop nobody. They can't get off the field on third down. They're giving up big plays for big gains on first down or more, or for touchdowns. And the offense has to step up and play better. Sam Darnold is a good quarterback, but he just finds himself throwing way too many interceptions that he should be throwing. So he needs to step back, revise, and just take what the defense gives him. You always want to get the home run hit, but not necessarily all the time. You just have to take what the defense gives you underneath routes, slant routes, check downs, something like that. The offensive line has to be able to do better, especially that right side of that offensive line is getting bullied and dominated by other teams. So that is the weakest spot, and they're young, so they need to hurry up and get things gelling. If USC is able to gel on offense, defense, and special teams and play a complete game, then they can win on the road in a hostile environment against Notre Dame. And Notre Dame, they love to run the ball and be very physical. And this is an opportunity where you can dominate and have USC on the heels by the running game. And the passing game, just be consistent, get some easy completions going, and take some shots down the field. Defense, just be able to put a lot of pressure on that USC offense. If I was Notre Dame defense, I would attack the right side of USC's offense. That is their weakest spot. They can't block nobody. They can't get. They can't do nothing pretty much. And Sam Darnold's been throwing pickings off that side pretty much of the season. So if I was Notre Dame defense, I'd be paying attention to film hard and make sure I'm setting up my defense best position so we can attack their weakness, which is that right side of that USC's offensive line. So do some disguises, bring a jailbreak blitzes, bring a delay breaks, drop the linebacker out, bring a cornerback in. Just disguise different schemes to throw off that right side. If you can do that, Notre Dame will be able to dominate this game.
Fun rivalry. USC, Notre Dame. Notre Dame's at home. It's gonna be exciting. I mean, to see that West Coast offense of USC taking it to Notre Dame. Yeah, I can't wait for this matchup. This actually might be. Would you think that this game, even though it's a rivalry, you have, of course, your usual suspects. Your Alabama playing at home, a big contest for Kansas State. Do you think this is a big game, but this is also going to be kind of one of those ones that kind of slip under the radar a little bit as kind of underrated matchup this weekend?
I think it will be. In my opinion, it's going to be the game of the week since it's a big heated rivalry game that goes way back, and you had a lot of great players out of both programs that made it to the league, and some of them are Hall of Famers from the college perspective and the NFL perspective from both schools. So it's going to be a tense matchup. I just can't wait to see it.
I can't either. That's gonna lead us to our fourth matchup. I really am a fan of this matchup. I definitely gotta say, Mike, Michigan Wolverines, Penn State, who currently moved to the number 2 slot in the polls behind Alabama at number 2 this week. They're taking on. They're actually at home hosting the Wolverines. Michigan, they're ranked fourth in the Big Ten East right now. They're coming off a win over the Indiana Hoosiers by a score of 27-20. Penn State, like I just mentioned, jumped to number 2 this week in the polls. They're first in the Big Ten East. They're also over a huge win over Northwestern by a score of 31-7. What do you like about this matchup?
Well, this basically could turn out for the team that could possibly be playing in the Big Ten championship, possibly getting a playoff berth. And this is a good matchup. But could this be a trap game for Penn State at home? We'll have to see because a couple weeks ago Michigan's coming off that loss at home to their rivals, Michigan State, and they got their chip on their shoulders now to win out for the rest of the season, and hopefully hope that Michigan State loses. So for Michigan able to be successful, they have to play good 60 minutes of football defense. They have to tackle well. Because the last two games I started to notice, they giving up a lot of missed tackles. And that's not usually Michigan football on defense.
Right.
And they're getting beat up and giving up big yards. I've been noticed that for the last 2 weeks as well. They have to go back to fundamental football on defense. Being that tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth physical defense that made you successful for the first few weeks of the season. If they can do that, then they'll be able to pull off the win on the road. You have to stop the running back of Penn State, Stephon Barkley. If you can stop him, you have a chance of winning this game. If you don't, it could be an ugly night for the Michigan defense. I'm not worried about the defense. I know the defense can get it better, but I'm more concerned about the offense, especially at the quarterback position. Because a couple weeks ago, I noticed against Michigan State, they were in that game until the quarterback threw a pick that wasn't necessary. All he had to do was throw it to a check down, go his progression, take what the defense gives you, and keep the chains moving. So the quarterback has to do that early against a very good Penn State defense, which is their underrated defense in my opinion. You have to take what the defense gives you. Sure, you want to take the shots downfield, but you have to read coverage as well. You can't throw it into double coverage. If you throw it into double coverage, then that could cost you the game. So you have to take it slow, take what the defense gives you. If the route is not there, throw it to the check down. Check down there, then try to run for some yards. Then you have to get the running game going. The offensive line has to play better. Then the special teams has to step up and play better as well. If Michigan get through those three phases, offense, defense, and special teams, and correct their mistakes and continue to get better, they'll be able to find their way to win against Penn State. Now, for Penn State, just keep doing what you're doing, but keep focused and not turning off your attention against Michigan, because Michigan is going to give you their all, and they're going to come to play.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to get the run, Stephon Barkley involved early with the running game. The offensive line has to play their best game, block well the running game, and protect the quarterback well in the passing game. And the quarterback has to be mistake free. If the offense can be mistake free, then they can put up some yards, some points against this Michigan defense. Now the Penn State defense has to take advantage of the young quarterback. Throw some disguise coverage blitzes wherever he's never seen. Throw him something new, like delay blitz in the middle of the A gap part with the linebacker, and throw the defensive line back into coverage. That way, if he thinks he can throw the ball and the defensive line is not there, the defensive line can be there to pick it off or back the ball down or just get some corner blitzes going. Just throw exotic blitzes and force the young quarterback to make a mistake and beat you. If you can do that, Penn State can win this game. And Penn State special teams have to play good against Michigan special teams, because Michigan special teams is one of the top 10 special teams in punt returns and kickoff returns in the country. So you have to be able to play well on special teams. If you can do that, then Penn State can keep rolling and keep winning in this game.
All right, a great test definitely for both teams. Coach Harbaugh and company going to Penn State, who's definitely wanting to show a big program like Michigan why they have been moved to number 2 and right there up there with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Impressive for Penn State, because we've never really seen Penn State in a position like this before, and to see where they've come since we know the whole Paterno situation, Sandusky situation. So to see the way that they've rebuilt has been something very astonishing to make their own name.
And Penn State has a chip on their shoulder because they was robbed out of the college football playoff. In my opinion, they were, and they won the conference. So they have something to prove to where we are for real team, and we
Absolutely.
can get into the 14 college playoff. So with a win like this, can make a bigger statement and make a bigger case for Penn State getting into that 14 college playoff.
Man, great matchups. 4 great matchups. Of course, Mike coming at you with 4 impressive matchups once again. All right, now that we've covered those 4 matchups that Mike has brought your way, we're going to jump into the predictions part of the podcast. Oklahoma, Kansas State. Kansas State's at home. What do you like in this matchup?
I like Oklahoma winning on the road against K-State. K-State is not the same team we're accustomed to seeing as past, where they are physical, they take time off the clock, they beat you up on defense, and they have bigger leads to win by. And sometimes when they don't have big leads, they find ways to come back, either win the game or go into overtime, or vice versa and all that. But this K-State team is not the same one as it was. And ever since that Vanderbilt loss, they just haven't really find themselves, and they're in an identity crisis, especially on offense. For those reasons, it's going to be Oklahoma's defense that makes a few more plays on defense to stop Kansas State offense. And I'm going to roll with Baker Mayfield and the crew. They're just too much talented on offense. So I'm going to say Oklahoma win a close game on the road in a hostile environment, 35-31.
I'm going to have to agree with you on that one. I like the Sooners as well, and I agree with you as well. I feel like you said, Kansas State never really did fully recover after that loss. And I think in a lot of ways through their play, it's almost like they're still kind of in a way mentally kind of beating themselves up, because I feel like that game right there could have really dictated the outcome of their season moving forward. I like Oklahoma 28-14 at home in Manhattan. We're going to jump to the second prediction, and that takes us once again back to the SEC, and that is Alabama, Tennessee. Who do you like in this one?
Roll Tide, Alabama. No insult to the Tennessee Volunteers, but they're going to get rallied 56-3.
Whew.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
And the thing is, I mean, you got to look at this as well. I agree. I don't really see very many people, unless you're a hardcore Tennessee fan, disagreeing with that prediction. I mean, on top of that, Tennessee is 0-3 in the SEC, and it doesn't get any better. You're going on the road against the Crimson Tide, so it really doesn't get any better for you. I really don't see them having their first win of the conference play against #1 Alabama.
And I don't see the coach last there too long. Neither the coaching staff. After this game, in my opinion, I feel like the coach is getting the boot.
He might be taking a plane home, may not be to Tennessee, though. With that being said, I'm going to say 48-0. Roll Tide. Third matchup, USC on the road against Notre Dame. Who you got?
I like Notre Dame winning this matchup because USC has not played to their potential. Even though they're winning, they're still dealing with injuries, and offensively you still have struggles to score points, and defense can't stop nobody. For those reasons, I'm going to say Notre Dame wins at home. I'm going to say the score of 35-20.
This one is, man, I say this one could go either way. Man, this is a tough environment for USC. I think this could be one that they could actually be out of their comfort zone going into an environment like Notre Dame, because I mean it's a powerhouse program. We know they've kind of fallen out of the spotlight a little bit, but I feel like in a way they're definitely starting to get back to where they once were. I'm gonna say Notre Dame at home. It's gonna be a good game, but I just think it's gonna be too much for them in the second half. I'm gonna say it's gonna come down to a final touchdown. I'm going to say it's going to be 27-20. I like the Fighting Irish. And that takes us to our fourth and final matchup. That is Michigan, #2 Penn State. Who you got?
I like Penn State winning at home. It's going to be a close fought game till the bitter end, but I feel like Penn State still has a chip on their shoulders and still has something to prove, not being in that 14 college playoff last year after winning the Big Ten Conference. They're on the road, they're focused, and they're playing good football, all phases, offense, defense, special teams. And Stephon Barkley is the bad boy. I don't see him being stopped. I see him making more plays. than the Michigan's defense. It's going to be a close battle, but I'm going to roll with the Penn State Nittany Lions. I'm going to say the score of 30-27.
I like Penn State in this matchup just because this is definitely one to where this is an opportunity for Mr. Barkley to come out and make a huge statement, make a case for the Heisman, get a quality win against the Wolverines, and like you said with the NFL with Kareem Hunt, I'm gonna hit you with one for Penn State. When you need a yard or a touchdown, you know what you do? Hit Saquon, hit Saquon, hit Saquon.
Hey, I gotta give you props on that one. That was a good one. Hit the Quan. Hit the Quan. He get you yards. He hurt a running backs. He take it to the house for a touchdown.
I'm just saying. Penn State, this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a huge game. I think Mr. Barkley's gonna get. I say he comes out with a 3 touchdown performance. I think he's gonna come out. He's gonna have a highlight reel through this game. A great test for both teams, but I just think Penn State, like you said, they do have a lot to prove. They're going to prove that they belong amongst the best. They have an opportunity. They're in a position right now to where if the playoffs were to start today, would you agree that they would be in?
Oh, absolutely. They're automatically in. No questions about it.
Penn State, I'm gonna give them a score. It's gonna be a great game. I say 35-21. I like the Nittany Lions at home.
All right, that will do it for our Week 8 predictions of the college football season. Social media, you can follow me at Facebook, Gameball College Kickoff / Gameball NFL Ends on Twitter, capitalized at GAMEBALL_capital M lowercase email gck.gnfle@gmail.com. Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel gck.gnfletv. It's your social media.
You can find me on Twitter at JovelEnt. There's a new app also called Flippergram. You can also find me on there at Young Genius, also Jovel Entertainment as well. Check out that new app Flippergram. They should give us a sponsor for that as well. But you can also find me on Facebook, Marcus JovelEnt Jenkins, and also holler at me on Instagram as well, JovelEnt.
All right, that will do it. I'm Michael Riley.
I'm Marcus Young Genius Jenkins.
By saying have a safe, blessed night and be good. This is Game Ball College Kickoff Podcast where the football season never ends. Peace. We are out.